Test, test, test. It's the Nicole and Tonya show.
Hey, it's Tonya.
And it's Nicole. This is the Nicole and Tonya show.
So in this episode, we are talking video games and button mashing. It's not how I actually play, usually.
But that is how I play video games, and I am not ashamed of it.
We are talking video games, specifically in honor of Nintendo Switch, Nintendo characters. Alright, so some of you know that I am actually a huge gamer. I love playing video games. I have since I was a kid. I remember playing like DuckTales on my computer, Grand Theft Auto. I love running over stuff. So I'm really excited to finally talk about video game characters. So, one of my favorite characters with Nintendo is Lara Croft. I love the fact that she's able to...
Lara Croft isn't Nintendo.
What?
Not Nintendo. Lara.
She's not?
No.
Okay, I have more. I wrote more.
Okay, well, while Tonya tries to figure out what is her favorite Nintendo character, let's hang out with Charlie. Charlie, take it away.
So in honor of everyone's favorite pointy-eared, arrow-shooting, horseback-riding arachnophobe, I bring you a completely incorrect timeline of the Legend of Zelda franchise. I'm Charlie, you're watching the Nicole and Tonya show, and this is Pop Culture Crash Course. So here's a quick refresh on the history. 1986 rolls around, and along with terrible spandex, ridiculous hair, and all of the sweet action movie one-liners, comes a small game that made no impact whatsoever called The Legend of Zelda. Written by Takashi Tezuka and Keiji Terui? Nailed it! The game featured a character named Link, who would, go on to star in almost all the other games. It's important to note here that Link is a elf. From this singular adventure spawned an army of games crossing a plethora of different genres. Most of Link's main titled games revolve around obtaining something called the Triforce, Illuminati confirmed, which has the power to grant you anything you want, provided you meet its stringent standards. You must be a blonde, green tunic wearing jerk with a huge sword, if you know what I mean. The Triforce itself is actually a gift left over from the goddesses of their creation myth, and was passed on to a smaller goddess named Hylia. Hylia used the Triforce to basically crossfit a demon named Demise out of existence, under the stipulation that she had to be a mortal person. So what ended up happening was some sort of reincarnation kajig. I don't know, this is gonna get that Jean Grey treatment all over again. So now that we're in Skyward Sword, Zelda is the reincarnation of Hylia. Demise gets added again, and by added again I mean world domination, because of course, what else are you going to do in a video game? The ending of this game sort of culminates in the creation of Hyrule as most of us gamers know it. Now for the fun stuff. We're about to get more convoluted than the Terminator franchise, so, strap in kiddies, I'm about to confuse everybody, including myself. Ocarina of Time. Demise is reincarnated into Ganon, who is raised by some perceived evil people in the middle of the desert and is only after power because he's a bad person, and holy crap, that's some social commentary. In the game, Ganon is a grown man, and Link is still a member of his childhood boy band and thusly unable to compete against him. After Ganon touches the Triforce and does the equivalent of magical steroids, he becomes immensely powerful, then dominates the kingdom of Hyrule for several decades. Zelda was forced to go underground because Link was sleeping. So here's the part in the series where everything gets all young adult on your ear ends. In The Legend of Zelda, Ocarina of Time, if you beat Ganon, you're transported back to the past to live out your days in the 90s recording and enjoying cheesy pop hits and many album sales, along with your gorgeous, beautiful hair. However, if you goof, and I mean goof hard, and Ganon wins, you're stuck in a timeline where Link is defeated and Ganon gains supreme power. With no other option or method of defeating Ganon, Zelda imprisons him in another realm because it's not my problem anymore, okay thanks bye. In all seriousness though, Ganon repeatedly makes appearances and is barely repelled by the incarnations of Link each time until eventually we get to the end of the Dark Timeline in the very first original Nintendo games. How's that for circular? Meanwhile, in a timeline where Link returns to his childhood after defeating G-Star in the future, Child Link seeks to stop Ganon from ever making it to the future to start with. This doesn't work out so well after Ganon breaks free, and the best his executioners can do is kick him into another dimension, where he raises an army and returns, conquering Hyrule after a few years. He's then defeated by Link, who uses his Master Sword to poke him in the face a bunch. And finally, the adult Link timeline. After defeating Ganon in Ocarina of Time, the adult Link timeline was left without a Link because he went back to the past to live out his childhood, remember? Ganon is banished, but once again returns and wrecks the place. With no one to stop him, Zelda and friends decide to pray to the gods, who literally wash the whole thing away. I mean, the world is just flooded. Hashtag climate change is real. After establishing a new settlement on some newly found land, everything seems to be going fine, but in reality, we all know that Ganon's probably going to make an appearance somewhere. This has been Charlie's completely accurate and not screwed up at all timeline of the Legend of Zelda franchise. Thank you for watching. If you like what you're seeing here, don't forget to follow me on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagrams in the links below. And, in case you forgot, this is Pop Culture Crash Course, and you're watching The Nicole and Tonya Show.
Okay, so evidently Lara Croft isn't Nintendo. So my next favorite video game character is the Vault Dweller from Fallout. I love the guy because
Bethesda doesn't do Nintendo either.
Seriously?
Yeah.
Like, really?
Fallout is not on Nintendo.
I thought they all like cross-promoted and they all played on every...
The exact opposite of that is true.
Okay, I just give me a minute and I can Google something, I guess. I'll Google.
Okay, well, she's gonna figure out her favorite Nintendo character. So in the meantime, I have a very special guest joining this episode of the Nicole and Tonya Show. And she also happens to be my favorite Nintendo character. Let's give it up for Princess Peach! Woo!
Hi, Nicole and Tonya. Thank you so much for having me on your show today. So what's happening in my neck of the woods is I'm actually throwing a little get-together with me and my pals. I thought it'd be pretty fun to take you and your fans on the adventure. So without further ado, it's time to party with Peach.
So do you have any Nintendo characters? Do you know Nintendo?
Okay, fine. Alright, Duck Hunt. That was the only game I ever wanted to play on Nintendo because that was my favorite. I didn't have a Nintendo and none of my friends wanted to play it. All they wanted to play was Stupid Mario Brothers, alright? So Duck Hunt is my favorite Nintendo character. And it's not even a character. It's me. There's no character in Duck Hunt. Duck Hunt.
There's a dog.
Thank you so much for checking out this episode of the Nicole and Tonya Show. Make sure to follow us along on Twitter at Nicole Tonya Show, SHO, on Facebook, The Nicole and Tonya Show, on YouTube, The Nicole and Tonya Show. Please subscribe to our channel, give us a thumbs up, give us a comment. We would gladly appreciate that. And when you follow us on social and you chat with us, make sure to use the hashtag SlayerUnicorn so we can join in the conversation. We will see you next time. Bye! I feel good. Da-na-na-na-na-na.